You need to know this to give her an unforgettable orgasm. Have you ever wondered why certain touches seem to work wonders while others don't? What if I told you that the secret to an unforgettable orgasm is deeply connected to understanding the female anatomy from the clitoris to the G-spot? It's time to explore the hidden structures that could transform your intimacy and connection with her beyond just the basics. Let's dive into the science of pleasure and why knowing her body could be the key to enhancing both of your experiences. This is a thoughtful overview of the female anatomy. I refer to it as a review because I believe many of you have some understanding. Yet I also recognize that there are those who may not be as informed and some who might be uncertain about their knowledge. This is why this discussion holds significance. Here on the screen, we have a medical image of the vulva for your review. It's important to remember that many individuals may misunderstand this situation. It's important to recognize the various openings in the body, as understanding them can be quite beneficial for your health. This area here is referred to as the vagina. That is indeed the area where, if one chooses to engage in penetrative intimacy, that is where such activity would take place. This is also the area from which blood flows during a young lady's menstruation. It's important to note that there is another opening in the body, which we refer to as the urethra. It appears that both you and she have a urethra, which is a normal part of human anatomy. Now, if you take a moment to look at that small opening right there, the urethra serves as the passage for urine to exit the body in both men and women. The urethra, as you may understand, is connected to the bladder. As the urethra extends outward, it is the pathway through which urine is expelled. It appears to be originating from the bladder and then moving outward. It's important to be aware that the urethra runs through the penile tissue, and similarly, it will also run through her anatomy. Please keep this in mind for your understanding. Allow me to share this picture with you so you can take a look at it. Now, let me gently remind you of the demonstration I just shared regarding the bladder. On the right side, you will observe the anatomy of men, while on the left side, you can see the anatomy of women. Allow me to refer to them as male and female to avoid any potential misunderstandings. What I would like to gently highlight for you is that this area here represents the prostate of a gentleman. This area here is known as the paraurethral tissue, which includes the glands found in women. When examining these glands under the microscope, you will notice that these small glands, which I am highlighting here, appear very similar to the glands of the prostate. It's natural to wonder, isn't it? You might be asking yourself, how can that possibly be? Men and women have distinct differences. It's important to remember that when male and female embryos are developing in the body, there are various factors at play. Very well. Allow me to present this to you. The tissue is referred to as undifferentiated. What we have here is a period of about 4 to 6 weeks focusing on the anatomy. Allow me a moment to make some adjustments so I can present this to you clearly. This is the beginning of our journey together up here. All right, my dear. As it transitions into the female form, it essentially remains quite similar. The small yellow area at the top develops into the clitoris. The yellow area on the male develops into the glands of the penis. Indeed, it appears that the green area in males tends to gradually close up, doesn't it, and shape the penis. The green area on a female begins to develop into the labia, specifically the labia minora. As you can observe, it is quite evident that it began in a similar manner and then took on a different path. That is how we ultimately arrive at the clitoral tissue, known as the clitoris. It's important to note that the clitoris can experience a form of engorgement, similar to what you might refer to as morning wood, as it is situated at the top and can respond in this way. It's important to understand that the clitoris is more than just a small button located at the top. The clitoris, as you may understand, extends into the walls of the vagina. This is why gentle pressure from the outside can be quite enjoyable for women. This is why the gentle pressure on the inner walls can be quite pleasurable, as the clitoris naturally extends into that area. The clitoris has a shape that resembles a wishbone rather than a simple button. It seems that for many years it has been referred to as a button, hasn't it? With that in mind, could you please explain how it is that this is prostate tissue? As we discuss the health of the prostate, it's important to understand its vital role in the ejaculatory response. The prostate contributes not only a small amount of fluid to the ejaculate, but also plays a crucial part in the trigger that leads to the release. This understanding can help you appreciate the significance of maintaining prostate health. Now, regarding female genitalia, I would like to share this image with you. This image illustrates what it would look like if we were to remove the outer layers and focus solely on the pelvis, correct? This is her pelvic bone, dear. It seems that you are envisioning a scenario where the female model or the cadaver is positioned on their back with their legs elevated. Is that correct? Allow me to provide you with a bit of context, if I may. Let me just grab my pen to illustrate this for you. I have decided to use red. This area here is known as the clitoris. Observe how the clitoris has a gentle dip in its structure. We can observe a portion of the clitoris in this area. This is the area I mentioned earlier, where it dips down and is located along the walls of the vagina, correct? Now, let's focus on the periurethral glands and their role in the ejaculatory response. We are specifically looking at this area here. When discussing the female G-spot, it's important to understand the technique involved. The focus should be on a gentle motion of going in and up, rather than a repetitive in and out movement. This area, where the periurethral glands are located, can be found towards the roof of the vagina. Taking the time to explore this technique can lead to a more fulfilling experience. When considering the inner structure, envision it as a cave or tunnel. It's important to approach this with a gentle upward angle, rather than a forceful jab. Aim for a smooth, gliding motion that allows you to engage not only with the top, but also with the sides, where the vestibular bulb and clitoral fibers extend deeply. It's important to understand that female anatomy is quite complex, and the clitoris should not be viewed merely as a small external structure. It's important to understand that there is a specific area within the canal that you should focus on. The region often referred to as the G-spot is key for stimulating the periurethral glands, which can lead to experiences such as squirting or ejaculation during intimate moments together. For those who may be exploring their own bodies, it's important to consider the angle of your movements. Gently guiding upwards can help facilitate a more satisfying response. Take your time and listen to your body's cues. All right, my dear. The vestibular bulb plays a role in the anatomy of the female reproductive system, contributing to the overall function and health of the area. It is important to understand its purpose and how it interacts with other structures in the body. The vestibular bulb refers to the various components of the clitoris, a term used in clinical discussions. Allow me to take a moment to outline something for you, if that's all right. If I were to illustrate the anatomy of the clitoris, it would be represented in this manner, and I would kindly point out the location of the vestibular bulb as well. This is the aspect that everyone recognizes, appreciates, and holds dear. Now, let's take a moment to consider the areas that may sag a bit, as you can see here. What you are referring to is known in medical terms as the vestibular bulb. What you are referring to are indeed the walls. The internal structure of the vagina is indeed supported by its walls. It's important to approach this with a bit of creativity. By angling to the left or right just a touch, you may find that it brings a sense of comfort and pleasure. It's important to understand that pressure on the perineum can have various effects. In the past, many people found that certain movements during dancing could enhance pleasure. It's fascinating to note that the clitoral structure extends beyond what is visible on the surface. When considering the anatomy, it's helpful to look at diagrams that illustrate the vulva and its components. This knowledge can be beneficial for understanding intimacy better. When you notice this, you'll understand why pressure in this area can be quite pleasant for women, as the fibers are all located here. It's understandable that when all the fibers are present in this area, applying pressure can provide a sense of relief and comfort. That sounds quite wonderful. Additionally, let's discuss why some women may find it challenging to achieve satisfaction in the missionary position. It seems you are making every effort to encourage her to try the missionary position. It seems you might be feeling quite surprised. She kindly suggested, "Why not try this?" And she provides you with a vibrator. She suggests that you simply use your mouth. It's important to understand that when there isn't sufficient pressure in this area, it can affect the experience. I would recommend adjusting your angle to ensure that you're not only approaching it differently, but also allowing for some gentle contact with the pubic bone or pubic hair against the mound. This can enhance the overall sensation, as those fibers are quite sensitive. Take your time and be mindful of what feels best. It's important to understand that the pleasurable sensations during penetrative sex can be attributed to the presence of clitoral fibers that are distributed throughout that area. There has been considerable discussion regarding the information presented in our clinical textbooks. Until recently, it was not commonly taught that the clitoris extends deeper than many might assume. During surgeries, it has come to light that surgeons were inadvertently affecting clitoral fibers, as there was a lack of recognition that these fibers were indeed part of the clitoris. It seems you aspire to exceed the standard teachings. It's important to understand that the clitoris extends deeply into the surrounding tissue, and the bulb serves as an extension of that structure. It's interesting to note that the names of these anatomical structures are quite similar. For instance, we refer to the bulb of the penis. The bulb of the penis is an important area that I focus on during clinical shockwave treatments to ensure effective results. It is quite essential to address this aspect when utilizing shockwave therapy, as it pertains to the strength of the muscle, specifically the bulbous spongiasm, which plays a crucial role in maintaining an erect and upright position. That sounds wonderful. That's a thoughtful inquiry.